Okay, everyone, I'm back, and I have finished embellishing and decorating the book, and I've put it together. As you can see, I used a binding ring, and so let me go through it and show you what I've done. This is a stamp from the Fairies 2 set. I says, I believe in fairies. I embossed it in gold, and there's a close-up. I also used a pearl pen to make all the little dots inside those openings. I think it really adds a cute touch to that. I used some German paper scrap from Altered Pages, and these are collage images that I fussy cut out and added to it. Let me see if I can get a close-up of that. It looks to me like the little fairy out there is just waiting to get inside and see what's going on. So let's us see what's going on. Okay, I open the book, and as you can see, here is the inside cover. It's done exactly the same. I did use crackle paint on that bottom section, and you can see, perhaps not. There we go. I think maybe you can see it. You can see the shine anyway. I used crackle paint on the bottom of the mushroom and put a little stain on it, and I think that really added to it. Now my first page is what was showing through, except for I did stamp this little fairy, colored her wings. I used Wink of Stella clear pen to give it a little bit of glitter. I cut a scrap of the paper from the Prima collection to fit beneath the opening of the door and the window. Let me close that back up and you'll see. And I also stamped Magic from the Fairies 2 collection. And when I close the book back up, you'll see that the only things that show through the openings are the pearl pen dots and the variation in the paper. Okay. Now on to page 3. Here I have fussy cut again a collage image from Altered Pages. I have listed these on the blog, the supplies that I used. So you can get that information there. What I also want to show you is the cute little die cuts. These are from Sin City Stamps also. The mushrooms that I layered, I colored them with the ink pads, layered them on. I also colored the little fairy with the ink pad. When I made the flower, I did the same thing. I used the ink pads and colored it, layered it. There's 2 flowers here. Layered it, offset it, used a fuzzy brown brad to put it together, and a couple of leaves to embellish it. Beneath here is another die cut from Sin City. It's a flourish, and it was much bigger than this, but the fun thing about flourishes, if you haven't already learned this by now, which I'm sure you have, you can cut them to size, and you can cut pieces off that don't actually fit in the area you're trying to use, which is what I did. So, but I never throw those away because they will come in handy on another project. But I did cut some of it off because I didn't feel like wasting it, and it was just going to get lost under the flower. So on to the next page. This page is, again, collage images that I fussy cut out from Altered Pages. Again, a die cut from Sin City that I added a little bit of ink to make everything match a little better. another set of mushrooms that I colored a little bit differently. And in order to bring a little bit of green down in here, I took my oil pastels from Altered Pages and added a little bit of green under the mushroom. And I'll see if I can get a little bit of a close-up there. And then I also added, these are stars, little metal star stickers from my stash. And little flowers and a fancy brad. And then let's move on to the next page. Oh, by the way, this particular page is just, it's not chipboard. I made one more page. I had so many things I wanted to put in here. I made one more page, and since this particular collection didn't have double-sided paper, I ran it through my Xyron and put two different paper pieces together, and it gave it a lot of strength, and so it almost feels like a piece of chipboard. So let's move on to the next page. Again, I used I fussy cut two collage images from Altered Pages, their fairy collection. Again, here's bits and pieces of another flourish from from Sin City Stamps. This was a fleur-de-lis that a die cut from Sin City Stamps. I believe my good friend Pam Bray designed this. It's just one of many in her line, fleur-de-lis, and it goes with her fleur-de-lis chipboard book. And all I did was I used Delicata Gold ink to ink it up, and it gave it that beautiful, luxurious look. This is just a sticker from my stash that I just put over it. I thought she should be standing in a garden of flowers. And so let me see if I can get a close-up of that. Okay. Moving on to the next page. Again, I have this whole page here is totally Sin City Stamps. I used, this is a stamp, and this is a stamp that I colored. This was from the Fairy collection too. This is also from a different Fairy set that it is listed in the supply list on the blog. It's a beautiful little saying. I think it was perfect for this book. The little butterfly here came in the Fairy stamp set, and this butterfly actually was in a different butterfly for the Love of Butterflies stamp set that Sin City Stamps sells. Another fun collection, and I've gotten so much use out of butterflies. I use them all the time. And so all I did on this piece here was I just stamped it in StazOn Spiced Chai, which is a brown color, and I just stamped it on a scrap of the print paper, cut it out, and inked the edges. Again, with this mushroom die cut is a little bit larger than the others. They were all different sizes, and I just inked it up a little bit differently to match this particular page, and glued it down. And I don't know if you can tell, but I never fussy cut the antenna on my butterflies, but I do have in my stash, I just have a real thin wire that I like to use to and I'm not sure I can get a close-up. There you go. I think you can see that. The little wires coming that he used for the antenna and on the little orange butterfly. And of course I glittered, like I said, I glittered their wings. I think all fairies should have glittered wings. What do you think? Okay. The next page is a combination of Sin City Stamps. Again, this was stamped and colored with the oil pastels, as I showed you earlier in the video. Another flourish that I inked and cut up to make it fit the way I wanted to on this page. This is a fun little saying here that I stamped from another set in the Sin City Stamps line. And this particular piece here is another fussy cut collage sheet image from Altered Pages. And I had a few more of these little metal stars left, and I thought, well, let's just use them. And here's a close-up of those images. Oh, and the flowers are just some from my stash. Actually, they're Petaloo. I think Altered Pages is carrying those now. Really fine, pretty flowers. Go to the next page. Again, I have these two stamps are both from Sin City Stamps. They're also in the same stamp line. Stamped in black StazOn, colored with the oil pastels, as shown earlier. This particular stamp is also in the same collection. I just stamped it onto another scrap of paper from the print paper from the line, and trimmed it out, and then punched the corners to make it look like a ticket, and added a little bit of bling from my stash, and also glittered her wings. I put a little bit of glitter on the wings of the dragon too. I think a fairy's dragon ought to have glittered wings. What do you think? And so let me see if I can get a close-up of these. Okay, and of course flowers and bling. All good fairies' mushroom homes should have flowers and bling. And then this is the back side again. This is the one that I had removed the bits and pieces from the cover and added them to the back to give me the back of the house, and basically done the same or similar as the front. I think this one you're going to see the crackle a little bit better because the ink went all down in there. But I think it's a really fun look for the mushroom. Mushrooms have that, they have that creamy base, but they also have a dirty look to them. So I thought it was perfect. And then of course the little blue door. And there you have it. There's my book, my mushroom book from Sin City Stamps. Thank you so much to our sponsor, our co-sponsor this month, partner Altered Pages. And I would love it if you would hit the like button if you like my video, and please be sure to visit Sin City Stamps and Altered Pages and check out the line. Both companies, the products work well together, as you can see, and I hope you enjoyed my project. Thanks for stopping by today, and have a great week. Thanks again.